everyone, I'm Jenny. Welcome back to my channel. I haven't done a book haul since May, I think, so this is probably going to be my penultimate one, judging by my book limit. So the first three are very special because I went to Paris recently and I made a pilgrimage to the sacred place that is Shakespeare & Co. bookshop, and it was everything I wanted it to be. I saw the cat Aggie curled up asleep in an armchair and it was delightful. So I focused on books that I couldn't get in England. So I went to the French literature section and got all the things. So the first one is Flowers of Evil by, I think it's Charles Baudelaire, which is a poetry collection. Charles Baudelaire was quite infamous in his time. He was around in the late 19th century, in the fin de siècle period, which means end of the century, and this, I believe, was banned in his lifetime because it was saucy, and well, beyond that, it was indecent poetry. So it's quite interesting because he's one of the people that after his death was recognised as this poetic genius, but when he lived that idolised, impoverished, struggling artistic life. So this will be nice because I have read bits of this for my fin de siècle course that I did in my third year, but not the whole thing. I think this is other poetry bits as well, yeah, so I'll get through this slowly, obviously, but it's nice to own this. Then the next book is one that I was recommended by the booksellers that is very well known in France, but I'd never heard of it over here, and that is Promise at Dawn, a memoir by Romain Gary. I don't know, when in doubt, just put a really French accent on. This is, I think, focusing on his relationship with his mother and how close they were and the kind of world that they built themselves. And it's also about his, I think he fought in World War II? Yes, young man fighting World War II, but I read the beginning of it and was completely sold. It was really beautiful writing. So don't know what to expect, but it'll be nice to read what is a French modern classic. And then the other book that I bought was French Decadent Tales, because I've never seen this before. Also, wait, the bottom bookmark. That is the cat Aggie. Hope you can see that. Can you see that? There she is. Isn't she cutie? Yes, so this is a collection of short stories by various different authors, and I liked this because I studied Decadence, which is this, again, late 19th century movement, which was mainly European, but it did come over here, and it's really about like an excess of everything, and it's very much hedonistic. It's a lot about death and sex and alcoholism and addiction, all those things. So I think that's what these stories are about, but it's nice because these aren't just well-known authors. Apparently there's some lesser known ones too, so I'll discover new things. Woohoo! And on to a book which needs no introduction, and that is The Testaments by Margaret Atwood. I caved, and I have read this already. This is the only one that I've read out of this book haul, and I liked it. The thing about this book is that while I think it is a good sequel of The Handmaid's Tale, I think it was a bit slow, and it does engage really well with the issues that the world is struggling with, especially things like women's rights and the refugee crisis and politics in general, and free speech. I think the way she writes about that to make it relevant is so good, but I also, while I enjoyed it, wouldn't have been mad if she'd never written this, if you know what I mean. There were some great sections in it, there is good characterisation, of course it's well written because it's Margaret Atwood, but also I can't say 100% if this was needed. Although she does write in the afterward that lots of people asked her how did Gilead fall, and this is the answer to that. So I guess people wanted to know. So, but some people obviously didn't because there's been a lot of complaints that this has ever been written. So take of that what you will, but bought it, read it, gave it 4 stars, so you know, I think it's still worth reading. Then, since I loved The Bluest Eye so much, which I read a few months ago, I bought Beloved by Toni Morrison, rest in peace. And this is set in, I think, the mid-1800s, so slavery is alive and well, but I think it's starting to have cracks in the system where abolition is coming through in America, and it's about, what's her name? Is it Seth or Sethe? But she's haunted by the ghost of her daughter, and it's a lot about, I think, the traumatic effects of slavery and also that relationship between her and her daughter. I know it's not going to be happy, just like The Bluest Eye. It's going to be hard hitting, but I just need to read more of her work, because lots of people say this is their favourite, and it's such a modern classic. I have such high hopes for this. If it's anything like The Bluest Eye, this will be another 5-star read. A book that I did not expect to pick up, but I just started reading and decided to buy it because I loved the beginning of it, and that is Late in the Day by Tessa Hadley, which is about two couples who are friends, and over a number of years they stay friends, but then one of them dies, and it's about how that fractures the relationships between the three remaining friends, and how over time things can come back to bite you. And it just, I think it's going to be one of those slow, character-driven novels where there won't be that much plot, but I'll just be really into the writing. Here's hoping anyway. Then I have a non-fiction book, which is Good Reasons for Bad Feelings, Insights from the Frontier of Evolutionary Psychiatry by Randolph M. Ness, or Nessie, who knows. I love this Picasso painting from his Blue Period on the front. That's a serious mood right there. But this is really looking at how evolution has left us with, as it says in the book, like fragile minds, and why are humans so susceptible to depression and anxiety and those kinds of mental disorders. And I think it will just be fascinating to look at this from a scientific point of view, rather than someone talking in a memoir about their own experience and how they overcame it. I feel like this looks quite big, but actually it's got so many notes. It's about, yeah, that much of it is notes, so it's not going to take me too much to read, hopefully. I will probably pick this up in non-fiction November, because I have depression, so I'm very interested to see if this makes me understand why humans are like that. And then last but not least, we have Girl, Woman, Other by Bernardine Evaristo, which is shortlisted for the Booker. And actually, even before the longlist was announced, I wanted to read this book. I'd already earmarked it as one I was going to buy. Oh, I left the sticker on. Oh no. Does anyone else hate having stickers on their books? That one came off alright. Yes, good. Because I hate it. This is so petty of me, but I absolutely hate it when it leaves that sticky residue. Get off. Right, yeah. Do you have, oh, I should say before I forget, do you have any petty things that you don't like when you read a book, or when you buy a book, or anything around books? Because I want to make a video about it, so let's be petty together, because I recognise I'm very petty, but I'm sure I'm not the only one. And stickers is one thing that I'm sure lots of people feel the same about. So leave that in the comments down below if you think of petty things you don't like. Anyway, this follows 12 different women in England or Britain, and they're mainly black, which is kind of what drew me to it, because again, they're often marginalised voices, and it's just looking at them throughout the country and throughout the years, and I think it's quite fluid in terms of switching between characters. I'm hoping that the narrative voices are distinct enough that I can really easily define who is talking in the book. But I'm very excited for this one, and even though it is Victober, I kind of want to read this one. That's awful of me to say. I mean, I've already got 25 things on my TBR, so I don't have time for you, honey, but maybe. Who knows? There we go. That was, hopefully, relatively short and sweet. This takes me up to 40 books. I've only got 10 left that I can buy for the rest of the year. So I will probably only do one more book haul, I think, and then that'll be me done. I might not buy 30 books, I'm hoping I can get just under, but I've already bought one book that I actually thought I was going to buy, so... And this felt quite restrained. 100% could have bought more books the other day, but I'm very happy with my purchases. So, have you read any of these books / want to read any of these books? Let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget about that petty book thing, because I think that'll be a fun video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon for more bookish shenanigans. Bye!